Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakradash. Salutations to the 1/3, the sealed elect, the 144,000 saints, the elders, apostles, and the prophets of the house of David. Shalom. So the title of this message is Makaveli is the chief musician. I would say volume 2. I think I uploaded a volume last night. It's a long story, but when my spiritual eyes were opened, I say about 5 years back, it's been almost 5 years to the month, but I think it was in December. I know it was getting cold. Might have been October. It was somewhere up at this time where I had an incident one night. And I ended up having to go to the hospital, okay? They checked me out and everything. All I remember is waking up in the morning. I think I have a guardian angel, because it's a chubby, so-called black lady. I would just use these terms for understanding for, those that are not in the know like that, okay? Well, anyway, what happened was I had came home from work, and nobody was home. My 2 sons was at my mama's house, so I was home alone. I had came home from work. It was like 11 something at night, and I remember it was cold. It was cold at night. So I was already seeing shit and shit with these TVs, right? If you listen to this song Megan Thee Stallion has, she said something about he wondering how I'm communicating with him through the TV. See, they tell on themselves, and it be in corny motherfucking lyrics, man. It's not so much about the shit rhyming. It's about putting that shit out there. You know what I'm saying? They have to do that anyway. It's just a law. It's the Most High's law, I would say. Okay? Yahweh, that is. Okay? Well, anyway, I was already getting shit through the TV, man. And the crazy part about it, this how I know it's more spiritual, because I was fucking putting in DVDs. And this particular night I had a DVD in, but they had like see where my mouth at? Like right here, they had like some fuzzy shit right there. And there was a whole nother mouth right there, saying some other shit, right? Well, anyway, this particular night, I get home, I turned my little TV on. It was like a little 19-inch TV with with the DVD player attached to it, right? And I put a CD in, but what I put in the fucking tape player, this is not playing. An image come up, and they got this is what the image showed. It showed me, which I might use that for my artwork for my album. It showed me looking at myself on TV, and I was like, that's how it showed me looking, like shocked, okay? And then it showed some niggas outside my door. They had these masks on with the face shit, with the teeth shit, whatever. The mask was covering their faces up. And they was like rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was rocking before they kicked my fucking door in. It was like a little dance they was doing. And it showed them kicking in the door. And then the lights went off in my house. The lights went off. And I ran out that fucking house, man. I ran out that house in my boxers. No, I might have had some socks on. I don't remember, okay? But I ran out that house, okay? My brother lived next door, but I ran clean past his house. I knew was no help there for me. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm running down the street, man, I'm seeing these dark shadows. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing dark shadows. And I run down the street, man. I run into a field, and I'm hiding in the bushes, right? And a fucking light, like from a light pole down the street, man, that shit will flash directly on me, right? So I jump up, I take off running again. I'll never forget. That's when we had Chris Paul and James Harden. Chris Paul it was his first season in Houston. The season had just started, so it had to be around November sometime, or December, early December. It was just getting cold, and because I ran in this backyard, man, I'm running from these demons, man. This is my first encounter with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And these are these Illuminati motherfuckers. These motherfuckers are fallen angels, man. There are two sets of fallen angels, okay? One of them are cast down. That's Lucifer and his crew, okay? These are the motherfuckers. They do music and shit, man. As above, so below, man. This is shit the big prophet can't talk about because it's called sensationalism, according to the assholes in New York. Okay? Motherfuckers that Yaz Karai warned me about 10 years ago. Yeah, he was talking about elders and shit. I'm like, okay, y'all got some shit organized? I didn't know niggas had no shit organized. I ain't know nothing about what he was talking about. You see? But I ran in these people's backyard, and I never forget. I'm looking through the mirror. I see the basketball game playing. Because this is what was happening. I was scared of the light also. But everywhere I would run to hide from the light, I feel like these fucking worms on me, man. It was like they were sinking into my skin. Okay? And I would start running again. So I bust the window out. I'm not making this shit up, man. I was fucking terrified. I bust the window out in these people's backyard in their room and jumped in the window, right? Yeah, that's true, Abigail, the prophetess. Anyway, so I miss you so much. I jumped through the window and jumped under the covers. Now I'm tripping, right? Then man, them people could have easily came in there and murked me. I was in their room for about 2 minutes. I didn't bust the window and jump through the window in these people's house because these fucking demons is after me. I jump in the window, I go under some covers, and then I jump back out the window because I'm still feeling these fucking worms. They was like sinking into my skin. I took back off running. I ran to these people's house. I got a fucking, a spare tire was in the nigga yard. I grabbed the bitch from the inside and I'm hitting the fucking door. Let me in, man. They about to kill me. They after me. Man, the nigga was in there with his wife and kids. I never forget this shit. I argued with these people for about 7 minutes, maybe 10 before I took back off. But I'm beating on the door, man. Please let me in. I just knew I was a dead fucking man. I was scared to die then. I know, hypocrite shit. So, the nigga like, man, I got some type of big ass gun the nigga was saying he had. He like, nigga, if you don't, I can hear kids in the house like scared. You know what I'm saying? Cause this a man beating on our door begging us to let him in. We don't know who the fuck this nigga is. But although I'm right down the street from my house, but you know, I don't know these people. They ain't on my street or my neighbors. I done ran a couple of streets down. So I'm beating on the door. And the nigga like, man, I got this chopper or whatever. I'm about to shoot through the door. I'm telling the nigga, man, I don't give a fuck. Let me in here. Then the nigga say, I'm gonna call the police. I say, please call the police. Not how I talk shit now. Like I was like, please, nigga, maybe the police can get these fucking demons off of me. So when I realized they wouldn't open the door, I took off running again. I went here in some more people's backyard, and the damn light from a pole was down the street, shined on my fucking toe, cause I was like hiding in a little crevice, cause the light was freaking me out too. That's when I knew, like, man, this is some crazy shit going on. But these were angels following me, keeping me away from this darkness. And I never forget, I ran behind this church. The church was called King Solomon's Temple. Bootleg shit though. I ran behind this church. I stayed back there for a little while. And then when I realized I couldn't run no more, I walked out into the light. And everything was illuminated. And I started saying, I ended up writing a song to it. Jesus Christ is the light. And I was like power walking. And I kept saying, Jesus Christ is the light. I was on the Jesus juice then, okay? This is the very beginning, okay? This is what I left out. While I was hiding in this backyard, previous to jumping the fence into this church, King Solomon's Temple, I could see the police looking for me. But it was a woman, and that bitch didn't work for the police department. They was in like a medical van, like an ambulance. And she was like, where is he? They looking for me. You see what I'm saying? So when I came out power marching, it's freezing outside. I done ran through 3 or 4 people backyards. I done ran through the woods. You see? I did not have a cut on my feet. You see? My feet did not get cut. I think I had some socks on. And as I'm walking down the street in the light, I can't run in no more backyards. I realized that, so I just came out in the light. The fucking ambulance pulled up. They was asking me if I was on PCP or any of this type of shit, what kind of drugs I was on, which all that shit came back negative, okay? They took me to the house. They strapped me in the van. I ain't gonna lie, I was happy to see them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. And it was a sister that was one of the paramedics, so that made it easier for me, okay? I ended up at the hospital, and I woke up that next morning. I called B. I knew her number by heart. I called B, and she came pick me up from the hospital. I called B, then I called my mama. And my mama was coming, but I called my mama back and told her, don't worry about it, I had a ride. Although I didn't tell her who it was. So B brought me home, but I had her to drop me off a street over, okay? I go to my house, the fucking door still wide open, everything is exactly how I left it, okay? I go in the house, and this fucking demonic presence, because for the longest, I thought the house was haunted. I'm still not attaching this shit to myself, okay? So, so I go in the house, and I feel this demonic presence. I could hear, like, movement in the attic. Although I did see a snake camera coming out that same attic, and that was the police with their gang stalking. Something the big prophet don't know nothing about, and I don't understand that. You know so much, but you don't know shit by gang stalking. You see? So, cause I have to tell these stories. This shit it's gonna all come out anyway. I'm King David, man. It's nothing you can do about that. It's nothing I can do about that. Okay? So, and it's gonna be proven. Not only that, nigga, I'm mutating. These niggas talking about spiritual powers, but King David ain't here, and some nigga gonna receive spiritual powers before King David. Right. Although I'm blessed with the all of gladness above thy fellows. Blessed so much so I'm dead, and the Most High gonna just prop me up at the end. Right? You sacked the city, but you gonna call it after David. What about what the people gonna think? Anyway. So I left the hospital that morning. B picked me up. I told her, man, I don't want nobody. Don't bring me home. She dropped me off a block away, and I went back home, and the, the door was wide open, and I went in the house, and I did this presence. So I came outside, and it was this thickness in the air. I couldn't fucking breathe. I swear they was poisoning. Like, man, this is poison, man. These motherfuckers trying to kill me. You see, and I was already speaking of them as an alternative party. They, you know. I kind of suspected the police was involved. So, man, I called my partner, which stayed basically on the same property. We had identical houses because we rent from the same landlord, young Stepper. My little brother sold me out for these motherfuckers, nigga. But anyway, I called him over. He come over. He pulled up. He got his phone like this here. I had started noticing motherfuckers had their phones towards me. See, I had a female tell me I was King David. And she told me that the devil was her daddy in this same town. I was in a town where damn near everybody knew who I was. I don't know how these people found this out, of who told them this. A lot of these terrors know this because they're terrors, okay? So, so I called my partner. He pulled up. I'm paranoid. He pulled up. I say, bro, I got to tell you something. I said, but I need you to put your phone out the car. The nigga he got his phone right on me. At the time, I'm not suspecting his involvement, okay? But I had to literally talk this nigga into throwing his phone out the car. He would not get rid of that phone. And the whole time he was asking me, man, Spec, that's my old rap name. Man, Spec, but what's up though, man? What's going on? I'm like, bro, I'll tell you if you put your fucking phone down. I'm telling him, man, they recording on the phone. He know that though. He working for him. Unbeknownst to me at this time, right? So, cause this is one of those unique stories, and I have many of them to tell. So, he finally put his phone out the car. I tell him whatever the fuck I told him. Whatever I thought was going on at the time. You know what I'm saying? But I was telling him the police is involved. And, I forget really what transpired. Oh, I say, man, take me to my mama house. So he drives me around the corner to my mama house, right? This is the night, the morning after my spiritual eyes didn't open, okay? I'm driving through the projects to my mama house, man. I can see demons on people, okay? And this is how the demons look. They look like the Duke Blue Devil logo. They look like the people that they're inhabiting, but they look like a devil of them, okay? And this fucking image was over them. This my spiritual eyes seeing this shit, and I'm freaked out, man. And we stop in front of my mama house, man, and he got this phone out, and he asking me questions. He want me, you see, this is the game when it just had begun, okay? He asking me, man, what's going on, man? What's the matter? You know, but he got this smirk on his face. And I look at him, and I see all these tattoos on him. I don't have no tattoos, man, okay? Makaveli had 1,000,000 tattoos, but he's the fucking chief musician, okay? And that shit don't really mean a lot, but a lot of these terrorists have tattoos all over them, okay? Okay? Everybody that got a tattoo ain't condemned. I'm not ignorant, man, okay? I see these tattoos on him, and it's just a certain way these tattoos look, though. They always got, like, pointed edges and shit. Look at this shit on these people, man. These are these terrors, these demons walking amongst you. Everybody down here is in a meat suit. But it's a lot of motherfucking weirdos around here, nigga. I'm one of them. I'm mutating, okay? Ain't that what the big prophet said? Before I even knew I was mutating. Okay? So, when I saw them tattoos on that nigga and I could identify them tattoos as being demonic, I just kind of got out the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh Lord, what the fuck is going on around here? I see niggas walking in front of the car, niggas I know, and I can see demons on them, okay? So you know what I did, right? I went running down to my church. You see what I'm saying? I went down to my church that same fucking day, okay? I mean, soon as I got out the car with him, I jumped in my mama car. It was Sunday, because this shit happened on a Saturday night. It was Sunday. So I drove straight to my church house, man. And when I got to my church, the sun was shining. Matter of fact, this is what I forgot to tell y'all. When I came out my house, the sun was shining directly on me. When I came out my mama house. And I was fucking terrified. Matter of fact, I was driving like this here, ducking. I had the visor down. I'm trying to, this sunlight, this light, man. This light is after me. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew. I'm like, man, I'm in some shit, man. So I go down to my church. I drove all the way to my church in my mama car, ducking in the seat like this here, scared to death. I'm hiding from the sunlight, man. Because this sunlight, it had anger. I had really upset the Most High. See what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, who can make God angry? This is what I'm saying to myself. It was another 3 years before I found out that I was King David, okay? Or maybe 2.5, whatever. But it was years, okay? It was a whole lot more I had to go through. So I got to the fucking church, man, and I'm looking toe up from the floor up, right? I usually go, I've been going to this church 10 years drinking this Jesus juice, putting ties with my paycheck and all this stupid ass shit, right? So I get down to this church and they film their sessions. Not gonna say the name. Anyway, this particular day, man, these niggas is moving me around the church. They moved me from the front to the back. They wanted to get me out the camera because I was looking that bad. But I asked to speak to this pastor after the service, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get a chance to speak to him, or whatever. And they kind of just escorted me out that motherfucker. And I before I even knew what was going on, I was back on the fucking, in my mama car, heading back home, you know what I'm saying? But when I left, I don't know. They had gave me a Bible. I didn't go with no Bible this day. I didn't have my own Bible. So they gave me this Bible and the pages were folded. The pages was like folded like this here. So I started going to the pages that were folded and just reading them. And the first thing came to my mind, I said, man, this shit got something to do with Tupac, man. This shit got something to do with Tupac. Because I've read it says something about one nation. That's in the Bible, man. Literally like that, one nation, okay? So that was one of the first signs. From the very beginning, I said, man, because I wrote every page that was folded a certain way, I wrote those scriptures down. And they was like precepts. I didn't know what a precept was at that time, you see? But I remember saying, man, this shit got something to do with Tupac. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to conclude Makaveli is the Chief Musician, Volume 2. It's a lot more evidence all throughout the music. See, if you're not a Tupac fan, which I ain't never been no fan of no man. You see? But Makaveli is one of the few people I admired like that, and I valued his counsel. You see? I valued his counsel. I don't have no tattoos, but I was going to get a Tupac disciple tattoo. And you know why I ain't get it? Because I didn't think Jesus would approve of that. You see? And lo and behold. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rikakradash. Salutations to the 1/3, the sealed elect, the 144,000 saints, the elders, apostles, and the prophets of the house of David. Shalom.